Yeah, so let's start off. This was the last thing that we did. Everyone should keep the cams on. Right? So before going ahead, let's do a few more problems and then let's see. Get these four. Everyone should give it a try. Nirek, Camon, Chitansh, Jahanavi, Nishank, Yashmit.
Sir, I'm just switching my device.
Chitansh, I can't see you, right? Your camera is totally blank. How to do this thing? What's the first one? Check it out. X bar 5 by 2 plus 1 by 5 by 2 plus 1. Check your answers. Where did you get minus 3 by 5 from? Because you didn't revise the notes. That's where it came from. Sin ax plus b, what is this thing? Minus 1 by a, na? Check out the basic formulas, people. Check it out 1, 2, 3. Any notes, please ask me. What about e power minus 2x? That's your answer. Half into 1 minus 1 by e square. E is a constant. Remember that E is just a number like 2.713, just like pi. Check it out 1, 2, 3. Any steps you didn't get, please ask me. I'll show you. I'll show you. Any doubts in 1, 2, 3? Next one, see, e power minus 2x is this one. What was the formula for e power ax? So all formulas only e power ax 1 by a into e power ax. So a ka place we have minus 2. That's why you're getting that minus half there. It is 1 by a into e power minus a, e power ax. So a is minus 2. If you want, I can write like this here, minus 2. Check it out. Any doubts in the fourth one? This much level of integration should be comfortable. Today we'll be seeing some applications also. Clear? Next one. Then we have something called identities. The first one, if you have a constant into a function, the constant comes out. Same thing we did in differentiation also. Example, so suppose someone gives you like 3x power 4 dx, 0 to 1. What you do, just take 3 outside and put x power 4 integral. This you know what will happen there. That would be x power 5 by 5. So 3 will just sit outside there. So 1 bar 5 by 5 minus 0. 3 by 5. Suppose someone gives you like 2 into sine 3x dx. Let's say from 0 to 5 by 2. 2 will come out, integrate sine 3x. So for sine, if you see a is 3 and b is 0, the formula is minus 1 by a. This becomes cos 3x. The 2 is sitting outside. So minus 2 by 3, that would be cos 3 pi by 2 minus cos 0. Cos 3 pi by 2 is 0 minus 1, 2 by 3. You're getting? So just push the constant outside and integrate. Whatever you did, it will be all normal only. The constant is just sitting outside. Put it up. This is your first identity. A constant into a function, constant comes out of the integral. And out of the 5 formulas, use the one which is there. Unlike differentiation, right? We don't have the chain rule. We don't have the function or inside a function, like function of something. We don't have all those stuff. So in that sense, it is quite easy. Any doubt so far? Please ask me. Copied. Can you turn the page? Next one. The second identity, integral f of x plus or minus g of x dx. So this is integral f of x dx. You just split them. Integral g of x dx. So you take each one separately and finish it off. Example, if you have something like x square plus x into dx, then what you do, integrate x square separately, integrate x separately. That would be x cubed by 3 from 0 to 1 plus x square by 2 from 0 to 1. That would be 1 cubed by 3 minus 0 plus 1 square by 2 minus 0. That's half plus 1 by 3 plus half, 5 by 6. Similarly, if you have something like sin x plus cos x dx, same thing happens here. Split them separately, sin x dx, cos x dx. 0 to 90, 0 to 90. Sin ka integral is cos x, cos ka integral is sin x. Then substitute the values. That would be minus cos 90 minus cos 0 plus sin 90 minus sin 0. Cos 90 is 0, 0 minus 1, that is 1. This is 1. So if you have two functions, just split them, right? And then just add it up or subtract them, whatever function is given. If you see, we have done these kind of things in differentiation also. If there are two functions, differentiate each of them and add them or subtract them accordingly, whatever is given. There is also a product rule also, but we will never use it in physics. So there is no point in learning. So these are the two identities and the 5 formulas which you have to remember. We don't have chain rule. We don't have division rule. Product rule is there, but it's useless. We never encounter in physics, 11th and 12th. So don't worry about it. Copy. Next one. Now let's see some problems based on this. Turning the page. Any doubt so far? Correct. Get these two. X square plus root x dx, x square plus 1 by x square into dx. Get them, 2 minutes. Let's see the first one. Root x is x power half. Hmm. 3 plus 6. 1. Is that right? First one, check it out.
Yes, sir. That would be minus 1 by x. Seventeen by 6. Check it out. Anyone who didn't get this, please ask me. Any step you didn't get or not convinced. You just have to separate them and integrate them and add them. There is nothing much more there.
All clear? Can I turn the page? Turn the page. Next one. Get these two. Let's see. So this is integral sine 2x dx, integral cos 2x dx, 0 to pi and 0 to pi. So this would be minus half sine 2x 0 to pi. I would reverse cos this is. So that would be cos 2 pi minus cos 0 sine 2 pi minus sine 0. Actually, all are zeros actually. This is 1 minus 1 plus half into 0 minus 0. 0. Got it? Sine 2 cos 2 pi is how much? 2 pi is as good as 0 only. 360 degrees and 0 are same. What about this guy? Expand this. 4x square plus 4x plus 1 dx. So integrate each term separately. So that will be 4x cubed by 3, 4x square by 2 plus x. Limit 0 to 1. 4 by 3 plus 2 plus 1. The other one is 0. 4 by 3 plus 3. Say 3, 9, 4, 13 by 3. Check. This much you can handle. Your integration ka basics are clear. Unlike differentiation, this is quite easy in that way. Applications are a little different though. Check it out. Till now, any doubts, please ask me. Let's see some applications. Any doubts on this? Please ask. Clear? Turn the page. Now, how will they ask questions in the exam? No one will ask you to calculate integral like this. So let's say different variety. Turn in the page, people. Any doubts, please ask me. Others, keep your cams on. So we got a block. The force acting on the block is x square plus x. Find work done when the block goes from 1 to 2. So the work done ka formula is given by this. Integral f dx. It's actually f bar dot dr bar, but we'll see that later on. You just have to put the f in this formula and solve. Like as such, the integrations are quite easy. You should just know okay how to apply them. What to do? Simple thing. So work done is integral f dx. Substitute there. So x square plus x into dx. You said you're going from 1 to 2, meaning your lower limit is 1 and you're going to 2. Got the meaning? You're going from 1 to 2. So the lower limit is 1 and the upper limit is 2. That's it. And you know how to integrate from here. X cubed by 3 plus x square by 2, limits 1 to 2. That would be, put 2 there, that will be 8 by 3 plus 2 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 2. How much is this? 3, 2, 6, 14 by 3 minus 5 by 6 multiply 2, 28 minus 5, 23 by 6 joules. Got this? Check out the steps. Meaning once you got till here, job's over actually.
How did you get 8 by 3 plus 2?
Which one?
8 by 3 plus 2, how did you get?
Yes, so how do you get that?
Which 3 plus 2 you're saying?
The 8 upon
So
3
that-
plus 2, that 2, how did you get?
How did I get? How did I get 2? No, that's not 2, no? That I get from here, no? When I put 2 here, that's 2 square by 2.
We are solving the x cube upon 3 partly.
I solved this whole thing as one term. I kept 2 in both of them, I kept 1 in both of them, and then subtracted. I didn't take each one separately, I kept everything together. You can do separately and you'll get the same answer.
That's a separately also.
You'll still get the same thing. What I did, I kept 2 in both of them, I kept 1 in both of them, then I subtracted. It still works. End of the day, you're doing the same thing. Check out the steps, easy one. This is one type of questions you will see. These questions were asked in the exam. The another thing which you see more frequently even in HSC, derivations, is finding areas. Let me show you that. Any doubts on this, please ask me. Next thing, turn in the page. Area of a disk. Do you know area of a disk? What is the area? Pi r square, right? How did we get that? See, listen carefully what we do. Choose a ring, thin ring of dx thickness. This derivation is quite important for HSC. I think we will see an entrance also, but HSC you will find this derivation in multiple places. At distance x from center. So meaning at a distance x, that's why today's class is important. Last class was only basics. Applications we'll do today, and next class also we'll do few more applications. We took a thin ring whose thickness is dx. So remove that ring outside. It's pretty thin, okay? I'm just drawing it big for you to see. Take a scissor and cut it. And open it. You'll see something like this. What is this length? This is dx, na? What is this length?
Circumference.
Circumference, right? 2 pi x. So doesn't this look like a rectangle? The dx is so small, I can treat it as a rectangle. So area of that strip is how much? Area of the ring, which is same as the area of this rectangle, is length into breadth. Does this make sense? The dx is so small, I can neglect these edges. I can just treat it like a rectangle, length into breadth. Is this fine, everyone? Then let me complete this. I'll get back here. So if you want area of the disk, what should I do? I should add all the rings the area, na? Is integral area of the rings. What is the area of the ring? 2 pi x dx. Where is your first ring starts from? At the center. Where is the last ring? outside circumference. That means x ka value is going from 0 to r, right? The first string is at x is equal to 0 and the last string is x is equal to r. So 2 pi is constant, it comes out x dx. Limits are from 0 to r. So this is 2 pi x square by 2 from 0 to r. 2 gets cancelled out. R square minus 0. Pi r square. Make sense? Kind of looks like, okay, we need to do so much just to find pi r square, but we will see later on, there are many applications of this. Check it out. So the main idea is you can cut a small piece from something and then you can add them up to get the areas. This is how applications will be. They're not difficult. If it's integration is quite easy, but getting the problem till there was the headache. Check out the steps, put it done properly. Ask me if you're confused. This you will find in HSC derivation at least in 2 places. And entrance where you will see this kind of questions will come. Anyone who didn't get any particular step, please ask me. And others, keep your cams on. Any step, anyone who didn't get it? Clear? Check out these steps. There is another way to do without integration. School me, you must have learned. I don't know whether you learned. Let's see that also. Copied? Can I turn the page? Next thing. So this is one type of this thing. Now, how could you have done this without integration? The idea was same. At a distance x, take a thin strip of thickness dx. Then what I suggest, keep them like this, na? Keep the strips one on top of another like this. Then if you see, this center would be here, agreed? Can you tell me where will this be?
The base of the triangle.
The base, na?
Bottom.
The longest one. This is R, na? Where will that be? This, na? The radius will be the height of the triangle, and the base will be the circumference of the outermost one. What is area of a triangle? Half base into height. Easy. This was faster. Put on this also. This is another way to find the area. Clear? Next one. This is one type of thing they could ask you. Tell in the page. Uniformly accelerated motion. Now this we used in kinematics a lot, but we didn't prove it there. Listen to this carefully, because questions based on this derivation came in both the entrance exams multiple times. So what's a uniformly accelerated motion? The acceleration A is constant. That is the meaning of uniformly accelerated motion. If the acceleration of the motion is constant, it's called uniformly accelerated motion. So for a body, u is the initial velocity. That's a symbol for initial velocity. V is the final velocity. X final, that is the final position, minus initial position is S, which is displacement. Now consider a body is going with an acceleration A. So we know A is what? dV by dt. Agreed? Send dt on both the sides. So dV will be A dt. Now integrate on both sides. So integral dV, integral A dt. Now, what are the limits? When time is 0, your velocity is u. Agreed? That's the meaning of initial velocity, right? When time is t, your velocity is some v. So we have dv integral u to v. A is a constant that comes out of the integral. Now listen carefully here. Huh? If A was not constant, it would have been inside only. Na? Are you getting it? If A was not constant, you can't take A out of the integral. So that is how you do problems when A is not constant, which we will see later on. But remember that. So the problem changes here if A is not constant. So integral dt, this is from 0 to t. So this will be v power 1 limits u to v This will be a into t power 1 limits 0 to t. Substitute the values. V minus u is a into t. V is equal to u plus at. Can you see? This is your first equation. Are you clear what we did? Acceleration is rate of change of velocity. Send dt on both the sides and integrate from 0 to t and u to v. Check it out. This is how you derived the first equation. V is equal to u plus at. Check out the steps. Any step you are not convinced or didn't understand, please ask me. Can I turn the page?
So we can get all this for derivation in HC.
HSC में no, you get questions on this. This derivation, right? They did it little differently in HSC. They use some kind of graph to prove and all that. I'll show you that also when I teach graphs. But this integrations and all are important. I'll show you a question which came in the exam, mains and NEET. It came in both the exams at different years though. Okay, next page. So now we got V is equal to U plus AT. What is velocity? Rate of change of position. So dx and dt that side. So u dt plus at dt. Integrate. So integral dx, integral u dt plus integral at dt. Time is 0, then you're at initial position. When time is t, you're at final position. So this will be integral x power 1 limits x initial to x final. U is constant, it comes out of the integral. So t power 1, 0 to t. A is constant and t dt, the integration is t square by 2. So this would be x final minus x initial is ut plus half at square. But what is x final minus x initial? Displacement. This is your second equation. Double integration basically. So first integrate a, then again integrate that function. So we did a double integration. Check it out. Put down the steps. Any steps on this? Any doubts? Copied. Next one. Turn in the page. Any doubts on this page? Please ask me. They might ask, they might not ask. I'll show you what they asked. Turn in the page. Put it on, put it up. Yeah, next one. Now we know acceleration is what? There is another form of acceleration. Is dv by dt. Multiply and divide by dx. Dx by dx. So dx by dx is anyway one only. Now if I take these two, what is dx by dt? V, na? Because a is dx by dt. So acceleration ka, this is another form. So you can write a as dv by dt time, or you can write velocity into dv by dx. Remember, both are different. Here you're differentiating with time, here you're differentiating with position. Getting it? Both are right. So it is just a variation of that. If you take a is v dv by dx, send dx that side and integrate. You get v dv integral a dx integral. This is from x initial to x final. This is initial velocity to final velocity. This would be v square by 2 limits u to v. This will be a x limits x initial to x final. I think by now you're getting which formula we are getting now. V square by 2 minus u square by 2 is a into x final minus x initial, which is v square minus u square is 2as. That's a displacement. This is your third equation. So this is how all the three equations are derived. That is the reason, remember, we say use these equations only if a is constant. Because you derived all these when a is constant. If a is not constant, you won't get this. Now, if you see as such, integration was quite easy. It is only x power n ka integration. So you should just know like what are the formulas for acceleration, velocity, limits, and all. So don't worry, we'll do more problems in the next class also. But the main thing is you need to practice a little. All these problems what we did today, take a rough paper, try to do these things without seeing again on your own. And try to do it by tonight or tomorrow maximum. Don't delay more than a day, you'll forget. Put it down. Any step you didn't get or confused, please ask me. Clear? Now let's see what they asked in the exam. The body has acceleration. A is equal to time. It's not constant, meaning when time is 0, acceleration is 0. When time is 1, acceleration is 1. When time is 2, acceleration is 2, and so on. The initial velocity, initially it started with 2 meters per second. Initial position, that is x initial, is also 2 meters. So the question they asked is, find velocity as function of time t and position as function of time t. Find velocity and position after time t. They'll say find vt. They'll simply give like this: find v of t and x of t. Now, what you need to do? See, go back here. Now, only difference is a ka placement t will come, na? So here this t will come, na? So this won't come out of the integral now. Then you have to integrate this. Are you getting the whole thing will change from here? Now you have to repeat all the steps. So just go back to the derivation which I did right now and just put a is equal to t and integrate from the beginning. You know what most people do? 90% people will do this thing. They'll write v is u plus at and a is t, so t square. Is this right? What's wrong with this? You derived this equation for what? When a is constant. Now, how are you suddenly putting a is equal to t in this? Are you getting the mistake? Try. I'll give 3 minutes. Give it a try. It's okay if you get a wrong answer. Give it a try. It's important you try. Then I'll show you, then you can check what went wrong. Find velocity as function of time and position as function of time. They asked position as function of time in both the exams. Because when you need position, you have to integrate 2 times. First velocity ke liye and then again position. Let me help you with the first part. A is equal to t. What is a? dv by dt. The steps are same. Send dt that side. So dv is t dt. Now integrate on both sides. You get integral dv is integral t dt. When time is 0, initial velocity, which is 2. It is given. That will be given always. When time is t, velocity is v. So this will be v power 1 limits 2 to v. This is t square by 2 limits 0 to t. So we get v minus 2 is t square by 2. So v is equal to 2 plus t square by 2. This is how you find velocity as function of time. Check out the steps. You have to start from the beginning of integration. There's no other way. You can't put it in any formula you want. Remember this thing. This will come in the next Sunday test also. I'm telling you beforehand. Meaning I'll just change the numbers or something. But this will definitely come in the exam also.
So tomorrow all this is not there.
No, tomorrow it's not there. Tomorrow it is mostly differentiation and a little kinematics of the starting part, which we did one day. All this is not there. Integration is not there. Now, from here, find the position. How do you find position? I'll just tell you. V is what? Dx by dt. Na? Same story. Now send dt that side and again integrate. You try. I'll give you another 2 minutes. Can I turn the page? Then you get dx will be 2 dt plus t square by 2 dt. Integrate. Integral dx, integral 2 dt, integral half t square dt. Limits when time is 0, your initial position is 2. That is given. Initial position is 2 meters. Time is t, and position is x final. So this would be x final minus 2 is 2t plus half into t cube by 3. So you get x final is 2 plus 2t plus t cube by 6. Check. So this thing looks quite different from that ut plus half at square thing. This is what was asked in the exam. Find the position as function of time. Now, the numbers might have been a little different, but the model was same. You have to double integrate. Any doubt so far? Please ask me. So we are slowly getting back into kinematics from calculus. Clear? Turn the page. Any steps you didn't get? Anything? Last thing. There is something called indefinite integration. So what's indefinite integration? So basically integration without limits. So you integrate the function, but you don't know where you want to find the area from where to where. It's not much. This is actually the easier version. I taught you the tougher one first. So what happens here? For example, integral x power n dx. They don't give the limits. Then x power n plus 1 by n plus 1, just put a constant. The reason is since you didn't tell me where you want the area from where to where, so it will be some constant. So this constant depends on the initial values. That has to be given. Without that, you can't find. So that's it. All your formulas will become like that. For example, if you take sin x dx, limits are not given. Minus cos x plus constant. So in the exam, if you get a without limits, you have to put plus constant as a tail. That's it. Just add plus constant everywhere. This is actually easier than without putting limits. Suppose if you get something like e power ax dx, 1 by a e power ax plus constant, just add that tail. Clear? So this is called indefinite integration. Definite meaning you know the value limits. Indefinite, you don't know the limits. So just keep adding plus constant everywhere. And the homework, right? You can do from the booklet, page 41. Exercise, you can go 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 18, 19, 20, and 21. So that's the homework also. So you can try all these questions. That involves both the integration, differentiation, everything.